I suppose more broadly, looking at some of the developments that we've seen at the Zondo Commission of Inquiry, what are your own reflections of this moment that we are in right now?
Thank you, Kathy. Yes, I think it's a critical moment for the Commission and obviously a critical moment for South Africa as well. We've been waiting some time for the issue of the Jacob Zuma saga to really reach a climax, and I think it is almost there. This is an issue now that goes to two things simultaneously. One, clearly the credibility of the Commission itself, and by that, not just Jacob Zuma's testimony, but the testimony clearly of others as well. And then also the cohesiveness of the ANC and whether the ANC can manage this particular process. And those two issues seemingly now converge into one.
Of course, one of the other issues that we have to look at here is, you talk about it being the end of the road. And, what does that really mean? Because effectively, whatever process comes out of the Zondo Commission of Inquiry, South Africans will still not have the kind of answers that perhaps many of us would have liked to have, at least have some insight into by way of the Commission.
Now, look, it's true that I don't think we've got the full story on every single issue, and there's a limited time for the Zondo Commission to operate anyway. But I do think it's critically important that former President Zuma does give evidence, and I do think that there may well be substantial pressure put upon him, certainly by the ANC, over the course of the next few days and into the next few weeks to do so. It certainly doesn't help the ANC if indeed President Zuma continues to prevaricate, and for that matter, even if the Constitutional Court take a punitive decision against him, it certainly doesn't help the ANC going forward. And I think, therefore, that how the ANC deal with this is critical. Will they give him some sort of free pass? Would there be some sort of amnesty on offer? Or will they simply throw the towel in on him and throw him to the wolves, so to speak, certainly in his own language?
When we look at the history of the kind of relationship that the former president has with his party, Daniel, in tough moments such as this, is he one to actually listen and to be persuaded by his organization?
Well, I think that he may want some sort of deal out of this, Kathy. I think the issue here is brinkmanship. Who will blink first? Will it be the ANC? Will it be the Constitutional Court? Or will it be Jacob Zuma, for that matter? We've known that there has been rumors in the past about the possibility, certainly, and I only say this as a possibility, of offering some sort of amnesty, which would take the heat off President Zuma and obviously the factionalism that goes with that. Now, I think that's what the former president may well be seeking, but whether the ANC itself can cohesively decide to do that, given the deep factions within the ANC, still remains to be seen.
What form would an amnesty situation need to take in order for it to be effective, but also in order for it to enjoy the buy-in of the majority of South Africans?
Yeah, I think your point is quite correct, that if there was any amnesty offered in any form, it certainly will affect the broader credibility again of the Zondo Commission, and it will leave an opportunity for opposition parties to severely criticize the ANC in the process. And that's probably what's been holding back some sort of amnesty process. Now, this all comes at the same time, of course, that the Secretary General of the ANC is facing his own issues. And I do think that these issues all really converge into one within the ANC. Will they be prepared to go the extra mile in terms of facing up to corruption, or will they look to sweep corruption to some degree under the table with some sort of amnesty-style arrangement? And I think that's the big question at the moment in the governing party.
Also, where would the conversation of amnesty come in, given the fact that what is also largely happening here is a legal process? So what would need to happen in order to, has the horse not already bolted?
Yeah, I think it is a difficult one. It's something that I think perhaps many within the ANC had wanted, perhaps a year or 6 months ago. It hasn't happened. The fact that that hasn't happened does point to a strong lobby in favor of justice being done via the Zondo Commission. But that doesn't mean to say that there is a body within the ANC. I still believe they're a relatively small minority within the ANC who would look for some sort of arrangement to take the heat off those accused. It's going to be a difficult one to manage. It'll be difficult from a constitutional point of view as well. But I do think that that's probably what former President Zuma would like. I'm not saying he's going to get that, but that's probably why there's this level of brinkmanship that we've seen.
What would it mean for the ANC to enter into such deals with individuals, perhaps not just the former president?
Yeah, I think it would really point to a weakness within the ANC. It would point to further obfuscation, sweeping much of the allegations of corruption under the carpet. And I think it would severely damage the credibility of President Ramaphosa, who has, of course, spoken about the need for accountability within the ANC. If it's going to go some sort of other way, then I think the ANC will come off worse. Although the question for the ANC will be, once again, does it protect its own party, or does it effectively protect the state of South Africa? And the choice between party and state is again now before the governing party.
All right, Daniel, let's leave it there for tonight. Daniel Silk is a political analyst.